Hey guys, Kyle from One Up Adventures and Fly Products USA. Today I want to talk to you about the Fly Products Rider and why it might be your next paramotor. This might be the paramotor for you if you want a paramotor that you can quickly remove the harness for whatever reason, maybe travel or putting it on a trike. Now to take off the harness, pretty quick and easy. We're going to remove the pull starter pulley cord, swing arms, and these come off with just a simple pin on each one. Goes right back on. Same thing for the other side. Now you can see the throttle is connected. We'll just simply remove that. Stick that on there. Now after this, we still have the tachometer. All we're going to do is unvelcro this, unvelcro the tachometer. Now this can be mounted anywhere if you're going to be mounting it on a trike, but for now we're just going to put it back here. Now to remove the rest of the harness, it is 4 clips and 1 pin. Pin is right here. Pull the pin out. I'll just put it back here for safekeeping. And now we have 4 clips, 2 on each side on the bottom. 1, 2, same thing on the other side. 1, 2, take those clips off. Now the harness is ready to come off. All we have to do, slide it off, and the entire harness is off of the paramotor. Now, taking it off is really easy. Putting it back on is gonna take you probably 2 to 3 minutes your first time. After that, it gets much quicker. Another great thing about the adjustability of these swing arms is that you can take this part of the swing arm and put it on the outside, which will increase the width of this if you're a bigger person and you need that adjustability. You can also adjust these in and out depending on your weight and your personal preference. Same thing goes for setting your hang points, as well as the harness adjustability for your knees. You can adjust this up and down using only the swing arms. This adjustability is on both sides, so it is completely adjustable for you as you need it. So as far as the width on the swing arms, if we measure from the inside to the inside, we are just over 16 inches. Now, of course, if you were to put the other side on the outside, this would add this bar space plus the extra bar. So we would be at 17.5 inches in between the middle of the swing arms, which is well above the standard. As far as the adjustment on the actual harness itself goes, you of course have your standard shoulder strap harness or your shoulder strap adjustments, but there are 2 loops here. One connects to the actual harness itself and the other one connects to the bottom of the frame. So one is good for adjusting it while you're in flight and the other one is good for adjusting it while you're on the ground. So it has the best of both worlds. So as you guys can see here on the bottom of the harness, this is a giant piece of Velcro that is easily removable. And you can use this to adjust the height. That's what these red lines are for. So if you're a shorter torso kind of person and you need this to be a little higher, you would simply adjust this giant piece of Velcro to adjust it as you need. The harnesses come in 2 sizes, narrow and wide, which refers to the width of the seat board. With the width of the seat board, I can fly a wide harness and I can fly a narrow. It's just about the amount of space that you want inside of the harness. Another adjustment point on this harness is if you raise the swing arm, you can actually adjust this back support here. You can tighten this so this would be more snug against you, or you can have it more loose against you. It just depends on what you're wanting and how you want it set up. So get it in the hang simulator and you can adjust everything so it's perfectly set up for you and how you want it when you're flying. This might be the paramotor for you if you want a really strong net and a net that has really good coverage around the entire paramotor. So as you can see, the net on this paramotor has coverage around the entire cage. There is only 1 Velcro strap that you just saw, as well as the top of the net. It is actually very thick netting, and it has this nice brace that goes around the outside to prevent wear. And if you look at the thickness of this net, here we have a piece of net off of another paramotor, and you can see the difference in thickness when it comes to these lines. And you can see how the strength of this would be much stronger to prevent your hand from going through it. So as you can see here, this has a clip on the bottom, and this just clicks together to get the net in place. Now, of course, you're gonna say, well, this can just come off. Once you click it on, there is a little notch here, slide that, and you can't open this net anymore. This is latched on there and it will not come off. And right above that, you can see we have the net tensioner. This is the only Velcro that is to tension the net, and you can simply undo it. And if you wanna tighten the net, you just tighten it more, Velcro it back on, wrap it around, and your net is now retensioned. This might be the right paramotor for you if you want a cage that is strong enough to do power forwards and bring it on the trike. As you guys can see on this paramotor, most paramotors just have a single hoop running around the outside and spars going to the cage. Now you can see right here there is this inner bar. Now of course, does it add a little bit of weight? Barely any, but it adds a lot of structural rigidity to this frame. So when you do a forward, this is protecting your lines and your hands from getting back into the prop. So this is a really nice addition in order to help you do forward launches without having to worry about that. So as you guys can see that these carbon spars that are on here, and yes, they are carbon, they're incredibly strong. They're significantly thicker than an average spar that you might find, and they don't bend very easy or break. Now granted, I'm not a big person, but that's not gonna break very easily. These things, and to replace one of these, is about $30 to $35 for one spar. And there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spars on the cage. So roughly $200 to replace the entire spar set if you ever had to. Now compare that to another frame that might have metal spars. Those are going to run you anywhere between $120 to $180 per spar. Now with this frame, putting these together, being that it is 2 pieces, is quite easy. Now compared to having this all metal, you can see that there's actually these plastic inserts in here, which makes it incredibly easy to slide on, as well as this net, or on the outside of the frame, it has this push pin. Now it just slides in there and clicks right in. So now we're going to put the spar on. Get the spar in there. Now in order to put this on, all we have to do is line it up, push this pin in, and slide it together. That's it. Slides together really easy, comes apart just as easy. This might be your next paramotor. If you want a paramotor that has a really strong prop that comes with it from the factory. This is a 130 centimeter helix propeller that easily fits within the diameter of this cage. The reason being is that these props are a little bit heavier than other brands of props, but they can take quite a bit more damage to them, whether it's grass, sand, whatever it may be. It can take a little bit more of a beating before you would need to replace it. Most paramotors come stock with a 125 centimeter prop. The Fly Products rider comes from the factory with a 130 centimeter prop, which is going to give you more thrust. And as you can see on the sides of the cage, there is plenty of space to accommodate that prop safely. Another advantage of having a Fly Products paramotor is that you can get it with a 150 centimeter cage, which will accommodate a 140 centimeter prop, whether it's on a Moster, an Atom, or a Thor, or another type of engine that you want to have a bigger prop on. These frames can accommodate it, and you can also get them in a double hoop configuration, which allows you to be able to fly it on a trike if that's your primary mode of flying. Now you can fly it with a single hoop, but if your primary mode is triking, I would definitely suggest a double hoop. The helix propellers that come from the factory on all Fly Products units are slightly heavier, about 12 ounces, than the competitors' props. However, that is what gives it its structural rigidity and the ability to take a lot more damage than other props out there. This might be your next paramotor if you want a paramotor that you can simply mount on a trike or take the harness off and mount it on a tandem trike. The Fly Products Foxy trike, you mount the paramotor as is, you keep the harness, and you get to keep your weight shift while you put it on the Fly Products Foxy, which is a perfect mini trike for anybody. You can also mount this on the Fly Products Flash Cruiser. You simply remove the harness like we showed you earlier, and you mount the entire frame, tachometer, throttle, everything mounts on there, and you now have a machine that you can solo trike, and you can also tandem with that same trike. You can also mount the Fly Products rider on the Vertigo trike. You simply remove the harness, just like we showed you earlier, and mount it directly onto the Vertigo. It is a industrial grade trike with suspension and brakes, if that is something that you're looking to get, and you can mount it directly on there and go fly. And within 5 minutes, you can unmount the paramotor and go back to foot launch. This might be your next paramotor if you're looking for your brand new first paramotor and you want something that is going to handle any of the bumps and bruises, the butt landings, the falling over on the side, whatever it may be. Accidents do happen, but with all of the swing arm adjustability, the harness adjustability, and all of the different options that you can get, this makes a perfect beginner unit. The bottom of the frame is rounded rather than having a point to it, which is great if you were to come in and for a butt landing, for example, on accident. It's going to skim the ground rather than dig in and potentially bend the frame. It allows for all of these different options, like a double hoop, different prop sizes, different harness sizes, the adjustability based on your weight. as well as the ability to put a Moster, an Atom, a Thor 202. All of these different motor options makes it a great starting unit for the beginner pilot, as well as the ease of use, removing the harness, taking the cage apart, and replacement parts. Accidents happen, and if you have to replace parts such as the spars or the cage, it is very budget friendly when it comes to that. Another thing that's really great as a beginner is when you get your first paramotor, you have to put it together, right? You have to put the cage on, you have to put the swing arms on, things like that. And the way that this goes together is incredibly simple. When you remove the cage, the outer cage comes off and the spars come out. Nothing else comes off of the paramotor. The Velcros are attached to the paramotor, so you don't have to worry about losing those. You don't have to worry about Velcros on the outside of the paramotor. Everything is in one system. So when you take this apart, you have the spars, the cage, and the prop. That is the only thing that comes off of the paramotor when you need to disassemble it. This might be your next paramotor if you're an advanced pilot, an acro pilot, or just that pilot that loves to throw around their wing and go upside down. I personally have been flying this unit for well over 2 years now, whether it comes to helicopters, infinite tumbles, dynamic full stalls, whatever it may be, it has held up to every single thing I've been able to throw at it. The swing arms are strong, nothing has ever been bent, nothing's ever broken. It has held up to every single thing I've been able to throw at it, as well as many other professional pilots around the world that are doing aerobatics on this machine. Another thing that's great about the Fly Products Rider is that even though it's great for beginners, having this as an advanced pilot with all the adjustability, we all have a way that we like to adjust our harnesses. We like it tighter on the sides, we like our legs up a little more, we like our legs down. Every single thing is adjustable on this paramotor. When it comes to the swing arms, you can adjust the straps below. So if you want a little more wiggle, you can do that. If you want it nice and tight up against the frame, you can do that as well. If you want to add a double hoop, because you're also a trike pilot, you can fly it with a double hoop foot launch, and if you put it on the trike, it's ready to go. So as far as an advanced pilot goes, this covers every end of the spectrum and gives you every piece of adjustability that you can want. These swing arms, they're all CNC'd aluminum, and they come in 3 separate pieces, so you're able to adjust it accordingly for your flying style. If you want torque offsets, if you don't want the torque offsets. While doing acro on this paramotor, I have found that the seat board in particular, you might hear about this within the community, once in a while seat boards snap. I have never bent or broken one of the seat boards that come with the Fly Products Rider. As an advanced pilot, it has been a phenomenal tool to use, and you want a paramotor that has all of the options, all of the adjustability that you're going to be wanting. You can mount a reserve on the left and right if you chose. I personally fly with 2 reserves, which when I'm flying acro is something that is a requirement. It's not optional, I always fly with 2. And if you only want to fly with 1, you can mount it on either side with this included reserve pocket, or you can put a reserve on one side and actually put the Fly Products pocket on the other side. And these are all included when you get a Fly Products Rider. So as an advanced pilot, having all of these options from the harness adjustability, swing arm adjustability, ease of use, it's great for beginners, it's great for advanced pilots. Overall, it does everything anybody could ever want. This paramotor can do pretty much everything you want it to do. From swing arm adjustability, harness adjustability, engine choice, cage size, double hoop, single hoop, different props, 2 reserves, 1 reserve, side pocket. Maybe you want 2 side pockets and a front mount reserve. That is also an option. When you get a Fly Products Rider, it comes with the reserve pocket, it comes with a side pocket, and it gives you the ability to have all of the adjustments you want. So to finish off this video, I just want to thank you guys for watching, and we really appreciate your time. Seeing one of these paramotors in person is something that you need to do before you make a decision on buying a paramotor. With all of the adjustability and the ability for a beginner to use this safe, not damage it, as well as professional acro pilots to go out and throw infinite tumbles, it is a motor that anybody can use, anybody can fly with having all of these options. So thank you guys for watching, and if I have missed something and you want to see it, please let us know. And if you want to get in contact with us and get some more information, please contact us at info@oneupadventures and check out flyproductsusa.com. I was watching you hold the camera steady and you're like